Welcome. Coach, you can start us off with an opening statement and we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, awesome college baseball game. Exciting. That was one of the most fun games I think I've ever been a part of. So I know that the players had to have loved it just as much, but saw a little bit of everything. We scored in a multitude of ways, had a suicide squeeze, a safety squeeze, a slash, JJ 3 RBIs all by himself with a sac fly, a solo homer, and another RBI single. But just the contributions, the 2-strike hitting, the relief pitching by Lucas Malstad, all of it mixed in just made for just one heck of a college game against an opponent that, has given us just a lot of trouble this year, and maybe an opponent that has some of the best power relief pitching in all of college baseball. They just, Nance and Dudan, and they just have electric stuff to go with a premier group of starting pitchers as well. So that's obviously an elite club at NC State, and wouldn't be surprised to see them make a postseason run. But heck of a win tonight. We needed every run we had and everything, and just an incredible effort. Proud of our guys.
Questions, raise your hand and we'll pass the mic around.
Grayson Man with TigerNet.com. You mentioned after the series loss to Duke that you were confident this group had the fight in them to be able to bounce back. What did tonight represent about that fight with this comeback?
That's a good word. The resolve of this group. Sometimes you need adversity to figure out who you are, and your identity is formed and shaped as the season goes on. And we had little bits of adversity in some games. But never really a stretch like that where for 3 weeks we, it was tough, and but our guys fought through it, to use your word, fight, and got back up stronger and playing better baseball than ever before. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it certainly feels right, looks right, and this looks like an even more confident bunch. So it's just an unbelievable group of kids that. Great leadership and great character players that just refuse to. There's just no quit, and we saw that tonight many times with the back and forth trading punches type of game. But very proud of how they fought through the 3 weeks of losing 3 series in a row to get back up and be the best we've been all season right now.
Jacob, take us through your home run, from your point of view.
Well, I just saw the pitch and swung, but just going off the scouting report, I mean, he was pretty fastball heavy, and I watched guys in front of me like Dom Listy and Josh Pano. So having them in front of me, like especially Josh, a lot of teams pitch Josh the same that they pitch me, so I can watch a lot of stuff from him, and yeah.
Jacob, Lucas goes 4 innings, 4 Ks. Can you tell me what you kind of saw from him tonight?
Yeah, well, he's pretty filthy. He throws some 2 different slots, and it really messes with the hitter's eyes. And it's fun catching him, and then also having the defense behind him too to make plays. I mean, we had 4 double plays tonight, and it's pretty fun seeing that right behind the dish.
And then Eric, executing on the 2 bunt plays, the slash. You talk about your team's overall execution on those kind of set plays today.
Yeah, it takes a mental toughness to be able to center yourself and execute at a high level against the elite pitching in a big time environment, and to be able to get those plays, to get those bunts down, or to execute slash. And so especially given the stuff that we're facing, it makes it double tough. But yeah, it's these guys train. They've trained all year practicing those plays, and so they've had a lot of reps doing it. It's one thing to do it in a controlled environment. It's another thing to do it in an environment like this. And so it just speaks a lot to the toughness, the will, the determination to just do something good for the team.
Coach, obviously your focus was on tonight. do you have any idea who your starter is going to be tomorrow? And if not, is BJ Bailey possibly in contention to start given the success he had against Georgia Tech the first time around?
We like BJ in relief. I mean, he'll be back. He did have a lot of success against Georgia Tech. Luckily, we don't play tomorrow, so that'll be nice to get a good day of rest. But we could go BJ, we could go Talon Bell, we could use an opener that's a right-hander. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, Georgia Tech is going to be just as tough of an opponent, and they won the league for a reason. But I think we'll figure it all out tomorrow when we meet as a staff.
With the momentum your team's playing with right now, would you rather keep playing tomorrow, or do you think it'll be beneficial to have a day off?
I think everyone would benefit from a day off and get a lift in and get their feet underneath them, and whether we play tomorrow or the next day really doesn't matter. It's kind of all the same. I think these guys are just excited to just stay here a little bit longer.
Eric, you guys played what you considered a high quality game. Does this simulate the type of stress and execution of a game, of like a college baseball game in June? And does it also accentuate the depth of the ACC, considering it's only a quarterfinal game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, NC State's an Omaha team last year. We're a super regional team last year, and it kind of felt like tonight was like a super regional or an Omaha type game. Just two evenly matched clubs, just trading blows, going back and forth, bunch of lead changes. Like JJ mentioned, we had to turn 4 double plays, got fortunate with some of those, but the defense really picked us up in those. And but you could just tell each team, the margin in these games is razor thin. It's one swing, it's one play, it's one pitch. Because this feels like a deep in June type of ball game. I mean, that was just, in at least in my memory, that was just one of the most thrilling, exciting games to be a part of, whether you're a coach, a player, or a fan, or someone watching that's just a spectator with no dog in the fight. That was a fun game to watch.
Look at the front here.
Coach, I'm sure you're waiting for somebody to ask about Wentworth's throw and Cam Canarella's performance, not just tonight, but the last month.
Yeah, Cam is a big time player, and big time players make big time plays when it means the most. And Cam's 4 hits tonight were certainly clutch. And this is when Cam's just got everyone tries to quantify the clutch gene, and Cam's just got the it factor. He's just a little superhero out there, and he's the guy you want up when the game's on the line and want the ball hit to when the game's on the line. But the contributions up and down the lineup, that's when we're at our best, when it's not just 1 or 2 guys, but it's 9 guys. And some of the defensive plays today, besides the double play, like TP's throw you mentioned was huge, but also JJ's redirect to throw out the lead runner would have been the go-ahead run in the 8th at second base. That was a big play too. So there were a bunch of them like that, had a couple outs on the bases that we got defensively, in addition to the double plays that, really allowed us to come out on top of this game.
One more question from Monty.
Coach, can you talk a little about JJ's development and where he's gotten to after splitting time as the catcher for his first 2 years here and now stepping into that full-time role and really flourishing for a lot of the season?
Yeah, I've been involved in college baseball since the fall of 1998 when I was a player myself, and been coaching ever since. And JJ's the hardest working kid I've ever seen in college baseball. Hands down, bar none. He just is, his work ethic is unmatched. And so every success he has, he's earned. And he's got, great years of baseball ahead of him. And he's just the type of guy that, I think he will will himself to play in the big leagues, and I think he'll be running a successful company when his big league days are over, because all this kid knows is how to make something a winner, and he'll work his way to get it done.
Guys, thank you. Appreciate it. See you Saturday.